There are times where things don't go as planned, and well, sometimes that works out for the best. In today's video, we're gonna have a short, quick crochet road trip vlog. I'll be sharing with you my road trip adventures as well as my crochet project that I made, and we'll be talking about books, or the lack of books that I read on my trip. Hello, Sonnet here. I hope you are doing well. I have missed you. How are things going? Tell me. What's new? So I just got back from a week and a half road trip, and a few weeks ago I did mention that my plan was to read It's Kind of a Cute Story as well as crochet a Sally amigurumi. And well, I didn't do either one of those things. And you know what? That's okay, because plans change and we just kind of go with the flow, right? So let's just get the whole book thing out of the way. I did not read anything on my TBR. We are currently halfway through August and I have not read a single book yet. But you know what? It's all right. I was on vacation for a week and a half and the plan was to read when I had downtime. But you know what? There was no downtime. There was none. It was constantly go, go, go. And so I just didn't have an opportunity to read, and I got back a few days ago, but I just haven't been motivated to read. The only book-related content that really happened on my vacation is my husband gifted me this, Women of Walt Disney Imagineering. He got this while we were at the parks. Growing up, I wanted to be a Disney princess, and then when that didn't happen, I decided I wanted to be a Walt Disney Imagineer, and we're still working on that goal. Maybe one day. I don't know. We'll see how books go this month. I don't expect my read list to be very high, but that's okay. Some months you read more than others. As mentioned in that previous video, I also said I was going to make a Sally amigurumi. The night before my road trip, I was packing up all of my supplies and I realized how hard it was going to be to carry everything I needed for this amigurumi pattern with me in the car. I would need stuffing. How much? I don't know. I was gonna bring my whole box of stuffing. That doesn't make any sense. I would need notions and yarn, tons of yarn and all of that stuff. And I figured that crocheting this more intricate, detailed pattern while in the car with only a little crochet backpack just wasn't going to work. So I ended up just crocheting a bunch of squares. I actually created two sets of squares. I created a green set and then I also created a purple set. I decided to make a bag, and not just any bag. It's an Ursula bag.
Editing Sonnet here. I just wanted to mention something really quickly. I completely forgot to talk about the pattern that I used for this bag. Now, the bags are your typical 13 square crochet bags. However, I did follow the Sally patchwork bag that I got from Etsy from 9 Inspired. So even though I changed up the colors and everything is different, I still used their written pattern to construct the squares. So I still wanted to give 9 Inspired the credit for this. So I will link all of their information down below, but yeah, let's go ahead and continue.
So this was super simple to bring along with me in my little crochet backpack. I just needed a few different colors of yarn. I brought 2 different colored purples, a black, and then 2 different color greens. Then I needed my crochet hook, just one simple size, a darning needle, and some scissors. Nothing too extreme. The squares worked up great, and it was actually really awesome because when working squares like this, it's just a square with half double crochet stitches. I was able to actually enjoy the road trip more. As I was crocheting, I realized if I had brought my amigurumi, there's a lot of counting that goes on with amigurumi, a lot of reading patterns and things, whereas this, you just do half double crochets. That's all it is. And so I was able to be more present in the road trip, taking in the scenery, enjoying the moment, I guess you could say. And it was great. So I made all of the squares for my Ursula bag. This one is a surprise bag. Anybody have a guess of which character this one will be? It all worked out. Let me go ahead and give you more kind of details here on this Ursula bag. So again, I used 2 different color purple yarns here. And then we have this kind of sparkly strap and upper part here. So down here we have the little nautilus shell. I think that's a nautilus. I don't know. Anyway, you know, the necklace, the the thing. I cut that out using my Cricut and felt, and then I sewed that on there. And then I also made this little Ursula pin. I'm mostly happy with her. She's not perfect, but I still think she is really stinking cute. Again, cut out all of the felt with my Cricut and then put that all together and then put a little pin back on there. So that'll be a part of the bag. That'll pin right here. And then I also have this Ursula keychain, which I've had for a while. Added that to the bag. And yeah, you have a really cute Ursula bag. Now, the bag is actually not quite finished yet. The inside is not lined as of right now, and I do like to line my bags. So I do have this Ursula fabric here, and all I need to do is actually just cut out the shape of my bag onto my fabric, then pull out my sewing machine and just kind of sew that lining. So it's not quite finished, but it will be soon. And you can just kind of get an idea of what the bag will look like with the lining once I have put that in there. And again, I did make a second set of squares, so I'll hopefully be finishing this bag up here within the next couple of weeks. I'm really excited about the theme of this one. And that was my crochet road trip. The first day was a fun little drive from Colorado, where I live, down to Albuquerque, New Mexico. This was the first time taking a road trip with our young child, so we were not sure how she was going to do, but everything went great. She was a champ. The road trip went so smoothly, and I made a ton of squares on that first day. I love New Mexico. New Mexico is beautiful. Albuquerque is so fun. We had such a blast. The second day was also a blast. We drove from Albuquerque to Seligman, Arizona. We did travel Route 66, which was amazing. Crocheting, taking in all of the beautiful sights of New Mexico and Arizona. I loved it. I've never really been to the northern part of Arizona before, and I was blown away. It was absolutely beautiful. The views were spectacular. Flagstaff seemed so cool. And again, I got some really good crocheting done. Who doesn't want to just sit there, listen to road trip playlists, and take a road trip down Route 66? It was a blast. The third day was a drive from Seligman, Arizona, out to Anaheim, California. Again, we did travel Route 66. One of my favorite stops from this drive was the town of Oatman, Arizona. Oh my gosh. Here's the thing. I love donkeys. I love them. I always joke with my husband, when we buy a farm, I don't care about any other animals. I just want a donkey. And well, in this town in Arizona, there are lots of wild burros. So we were able to feed the burros and pet them and be close to them. And I was so happy. It was so great. I had so much fun just being around those wild burros. It was definitely a highlight for me. And then of course, we went to Anaheim. No surprise. Had a great time in Anaheim, went to Disneyland, went to Laguna Beach and Crystal Cove as well, which were absolutely beautiful. This was our second time going to Crystal Cove Beach, and I love it so much. There's not much I can say about being in Disneyland. It is just my favorite thing in the whole world. I love being there with my family. We had just such a great time. The road trip back was great. We drove from Anaheim to Utah, which is beautiful. Utah is just breathtaking. If you've never been to Utah, I highly recommend you go to Utah and see a lot of those national parks there. They are just mind-blowing. The rock formations, gorgeous. And then of course the last day was driving through my favorite, because it's my home, the Rocky Mountains in Colorado. It was awesome. It was beautiful. It was kind of rainy, and that was awesome. That was comforting, and crocheting in a mountain drive while it rains. Yeah, it was great. Overall, the road trip was a complete success. I had a great time. My family had a great time, and I crocheted a ton. It was so awesome. But that's it for me. Thank you so much for coming on this little road trip vlog with me. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I will see you all a little later. Bye.